What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Epic back with another Star Wars Battlefront 2 video, and in this one I'm going to be showing you guys how to play as Darth Vader across all game modes. In my opinion, and a lot of people will probably tell you this, I think he's the best hero in the game. He has the most health and arguably the highest DPS. He's got 800 base health. You can do 130 damage per hit with this saber. His 120 per hit, 135 with Focus Rage, 140 in the back, and then 155 in the back with Focus Rage. Yeah, he's got a lot of... He's basically just a tank. So we're going to go over his abilities and then his star cards. Alright, now we're going to be talking about Darth Vader's abilities. The first one is his lightsaber throw. Darth Vader throws his lightsaber, cutting through and dealing damage to any enemies in his way. Pretty self-explanatory. If you're a lightsaber hero and you block the hit from the saber throw, it will block, but it has the chance to hit you in the back as it's returning to Vader. So remember that when you're playing against a Vader, or even if you're playing as him, it can be very useful. And I'll show you guys a cool combo with that trick later. Focus Rage, arguably one of the best abilities in the game. Darth Vader channels the dark side of the Force, focusing his rage. The stamina cost of his melee strikes is half. They deal bonus damage while he receives temporary bonus health. Absolutely insane. Attacks cost less stamina, he receives health, and it just makes him even more tanky. Choke, Darth Vader chokes a cluster of enemies ahead of them, dragging them off the ground and in the air into danger. He can choke up to 5 or 6 people. They can get shot at while he's choking them, and then of course you can follow up with an attack or a combo once they hit the ground. Very insane, and of course the choke does damage itself too. Now let's get into the star cards. Alright, now we're going over his star cards. These first two are obviously the most important, bonus health and furious resilience. Darth Vader receives less damage while Focus Rage is active. This just bumps up his Focus Rage ability to being on crack. I mean, he takes 25% less damage. That's absolutely insane. Darth Vader, bonus health, maximum health increase by 150, so instead of 800, he now has 950 health, plus, when you use Focus Rage, gives him about 1,150 total health. Insane. Punishing Grip, Vader can choke for a longer time. This is good for dueling and hero modes, but if you're going for kill streaks in larger scale game modes, I think Fueling the Rage would be better. Darth Vader, Focus Rage is active for 6 more seconds, but the damage is reduced by 5. That's not that much, especially if you're killing troopers, so run Punishing Grip in the hero modes. Here we have some gameplay of an HVV lobby that I was in the other day, and you're going to see a couple things in this gameplay that I'm going to go over, but the first thing I want to mention, and you're probably going to be noticing it now, is Vader is insanely good at crowd control. If you're not sure what I mean by that, it means that if he has multiple enemies on him, he's really good at fending them off, and he's just hard to kill. If you're coming against a good Vader, most of the time, they're going to be very annoying to kill, because they have a lot of health, they're very tanky, they can take a lot of damage, and if they know what they're doing, their defenses are going to be hard to break. So keep that in mind when going against a Vader, or even playing as Vader. He's really good at crowd control and taking on multiple enemies at once. Now, that doesn't mean that in HVV you can just 4v1 as Vader every time and kill them. He's not invincible. He is killable. He's just hard to kill if you know what you're doing. So let's get into some different combos and other cool tricks you could do with Darth Vader in Battlefront 2. Alright, this next thing I want to go over is pretty simple, but anytime you throw your lightsaber, you want to dodge. It just helps out with canceling that animation, saving you a few seconds, and even makes it less likely for you to get like shot in the back or anything like that while you're throwing the saber. Here in the gameplay you can see I'm going after this BB-8. I'm going to slow it down for you guys so you can have a better example. I am completely tanking the damage from that cable spin because of Focus Rage. I guarantee you if Focus Rage wasn't up there, I probably would have died. Now that doesn't mean anytime you see a BB-8 cable spinning, if you have Vader and you have Focus Rage up, you can just go swinging and instantly kill him. That's not what that means. But I will show you guys next a combo that you can do on any BB-8 while they're cable spinning, or really any hero. If you can land one single choke, and it can wipe out almost any hero from full health, or at least get them down to 1 or 2 hits. It can instantly kill Han, Leia, and heroes that have like 650 health. So let me show you guys this now. It's insanely overpowered and the best combo in the entire game. Check it out. This combo I'm about to show you guys is called the Frame Trap. It is absolutely insane. I messed it up a little bit here, but if you swing and activate your choke at the same time, you'll be able to get that initial swing in and then another swing after. And typically, you jump swing and then throw your saber as they hit the ground. The choke with the jump swing, throw your saber combo is one that you'll see people using all the time. When you choke, You always want to land a jump swing and then throw your saber right after. I promise you the lightsaber throw will always connect. If you guys remember in my how-to lightsaber dueling video, I talked about how you always want to try to go for hitting 2 strikes on somebody because it will always connect. And sometimes if they dodge at the perfect time, only 1 strike will connect. Well, with Darth Vader, if you swing and then throw your lightsaber at somebody, even if it's not after the choke, if you just are in a duel, you guys are blocking, and you land a hit with the saber, if you instantly throw your saber right after, it will always, 100% of the time, connect, and you'll always get those 2 hits. And it's always going to be a nice, juicy 150 damage right to the face, unless they have some kind of damage reduction buff up. So, keep that in mind. You're going to want to always throw your lightsaber after you swing, and after you choke, hit him with a jump swing lightsaber throw combo. But don't forget that frame trap. I'll put it right back up on the screen here. You're going to want to swing and choke at the same time. Go for about 2 swings. Sometimes you can land 3. Get the full animation and then jump swing and throw your saber as they're hitting the ground. Because if you swing more than twice, it will knock them out of the choke. And if you don't activate the choke at the right time, it'll knock them out of the choke as well within the first swing. So keep that in mind. It's a little tricky. The timing is definitely something you guys are going to have to practice with, but very insane combo. I have literally instant killed Han's, Leia's, and other heroes of that health with it. I'll put a clip of that up on screen right now just so you guys can see how truly insane the frame trap is for Darth Vader. Alright, so real quick before we move on, I want to talk about 2 more things that have to do with Vader's frame trap. If you notice in the clip where I frame trap Han, I will put it back up on the screen now so you guys can see it. I went for the 3 strikes like I was talking about earlier instead of 2 and then waiting for him to hit the ground, hitting the jump swing, saber throw. It still killed him because as he was falling down I hit that jump swing and I threw my saber anyways, but he was already dead. The saber throw probably still would have hit. But that's an example of you using the 3-hit version. The 2-hit version can also be just as deadly. Like I said, it would have killed him because the saber throw would have hit him if I just went with the 2-hit version instead. But it really just depends on the situation. Saber heroes, they can sometimes put their block up as they hit the ground if you go for the 3rd hit and you're not able to land the saber throw sometimes unless it hits them in the back through the block. So just another thing to keep in mind. Also, I'm going to put this clip up right now. Sometimes the choke glitches out whether you're trying to frame trap or not. It just picks them up for half a second, then drops them right back on the ground, and you just miss the choke. And there's other times where you go to choke somebody, they're completely in range, they're not blocking or rolling, and it just doesn't choke them. That's just Battlefront 2 for you. A lot of bugs in this game, so I'm sure it's going to happen to you at some point playing as Vader. Don't get concerned and think, you know, why is my choke not working? It's just the game not wanting you to choke in that moment, so keep that in mind. Here's something else I want to go over real quick. You guys just saw it. Slow it down again. As I popped Focus Rage, I swung at the same time. There's also, you can jump swing and activate it at the same time as well. There's a clean hook swing for you guys. So yeah, just keep that in mind. You can also jump swing and activate it, which is a lot harder to do with the timing, but it just helps you with canceling out that animation and you'll be able to move around while activating Focus Rage and, you know, save yourself a couple seconds in the fight. And trust me, it might sound a little, oh, what difference is a second or 2 going to make? Well, trust me, like I said, timing is huge in this game, especially when you're dueling or fighting other lightsaber heroes or blaster heroes even. Hell, even in the large-scale game modes, you know, you're facing off against 6 or 7 troopers, and that split second or 2 window that you have to activate Focus Rage, yeah, it might make a difference. So keep that in mind, guys. Keep that in mind. Alright, so this next thing I'm going to talk about is going to really help you guys when trying to land chokes. Darth Vader can choke through blocks. Let me explain. As you can see, as I throw my lightsaber, I get the hit marker, boom, activate the choke as soon as you see the hit marker. Anytime in this game, when someone gets hit by an attack, they are immediately staggered for like half a second and leaves them open to another attack. So if they're blocking and they take a hit, they will get staggered, and it'll leave them open for another attack immediately after that. So, as you can see, when I throw the saber, boom, I get that hit marker, and then it's just game over from there. The choke lands, and you can go with that combo. Now, the problem is, once you throw your saber to get the choke, you no longer have access to the jump swing saber throw combo, because by the time the choke's done, and you go for a jump swing, then, you know, the saber throw is not going to be recharged in time. So what you can do is 2 consecutive bunny hop jump swings where you hold block and you'll be able to lightly tap the jump button and jump swing twice in a row. You have to hold block to do this for some reason. It doesn't work when you don't hold block. And there's a specific hero that's really good at this. We're going to get into some more tips here and jump into some large-scale game mode tips as well for you guys. This next tip is more or less for any saber hero, really, but I find it works really well with Vader. Sideways dodging, especially to the left. If you dodge to the left with Vader, and instead of trying to dodge straight through them, it just seems to work a bit better. Angle-wise, the enemy seems to get a little more confused. You catch them a little more off guard just by dodging sideways. And if you get the right angle, you can usually hit them in the back with that. Throwing up that little clip on screen. You know, just a smaller tip. Not really Vader specific, but I noticed when dodging left with Vader, the animations that trigger are a little quicker. And so it makes it easier to get those swings in. So just keep that in mind as well. Another thing to remember is if you don't want to go for a full frame trap, you can always swing once when activating the choke and then go with the rest of the choke like you see there. And that finished off Obi-Wan just by itself. Didn't need any crazy combos or anything like that. Sometimes, you know, you can get that where you're playing as Vader and you realize the choke is enough to kill him. So just another quick tip. You don't always have to frame trap. In turn, all that will do is most likely just wind up wasting your stamina. So here we are in the Supremacy lobby, and during this gameplay I'm going to go over a few tips that's going to help you guys survive in the larger scale game modes like Supremacy and Galactic Assault with Darth Vader. One thing I want to mention is don't do what I just did there against that Assault Trooper and waste your choke completely on one trooper when it's not necessary. I did that just to give you guys an example. You also don't want to be popping Focus Rage every time it's available. Only pop it when you absolutely need it or right before you enter a big large group of enemies or some kind of gunfight or saber duel. It's even useful when you have full health already and then you're losing health. You can pop it to get that health back up and help you survive in any situation. This goes for any saber hero I'm about to mention. You saw me do it with that Wookiee warrior. Always be moving and make yourself harder to hit. But this tip is especially useful for Vader because he is the slowest saber hero in the game. So you guys are going to want to be constantly dodging, jump around a little bit. I know when I said in my hero dueling video you don't really want to jump much. Jump like really high up in the air. Well, in the larger scale modes, that is actually something that won't hurt you as much because there's not as many heroes that can grab you in a force ability as you jump away, and it can really help you get out of a sticky situation because jumping around and moving around and will make it really harder for all these troopers to hit you. Make use of your stamina, of course. Darth Vader's stamina is a little weak when he doesn't have Focus Rage popped, especially if he's attacking. You see me fall back here, get that stamina up, start regenning, and then pop Focus Rage and hop right back into the fight. This is what I mean about the crowd control too. You see all these troopers and a Luke trying to kill me. There was a Yoda here earlier as well. I killed him, or helped kill him. And Vader's really good at controlling the crowd and, you know, changing the course of the battle when he enters a certain scene. You know, he can take an objective sometimes by himself, depending on who's there and who's playing as him. You don't want to get overzealous with Vader, because he is very tanky, does have a lot of health, and he can do a lot of damage, and grab a lot of enemies at one time with that choke. But, like I said at the beginning, he's not invincible, and he can easily die. So, with enough firepower, you know, any hero is going to fall. But you have to make use of your abilities, your stamina. That Focus Rage, I can't stress enough how useful it is. I really can't. The rest, I think, is really just self-explanatory. You know, always go for 2 swings on a trooper. Unless it's a bot in Supremacy, they're always one hit. Look at that combo on Yoda. Just easily took him out while I'm wiping out all these troopers. Now, once again, you're not always going to be facing horrible players. You're going to come across some pros, so they also know all these tips and tricks that I'm giving out in this video. So keep that in mind. You're going to come across some good players that are going to know the counters for all of these things that I'm telling you. As you can see here, I'm getting shot from both directions, trying to deflect it into them and show off that deflection stamina, but it caused me to take way too much damage and, of course, eventually die. Anytime you're getting shot at or just taking a bunch of damage, you just want to fall back instantly. Make use of that Focus Rage. And also with the choke. one last thing I want to mention is try not to choke just one enemy. Usually wait till you have a group of people and then grab them in that choke. You'll be able to finish them off much quicker. Hopefully, this video gave you better insight on how to be better with Darth Vader in all game modes across Battlefront 2, and hopefully you guys use these tricks and it helps you in your gameplay. If you guys want to see any other hero guides, let me know on what hero you want to see me do a guide on. I'm going to be doing Grievous next because he was the most requested. After that I'll do Yoda, because Yoda is, in my opinion, the hardest hero to learn. If you guys have any more requests, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know if you found any of these tips or tricks helpful, and if you learned something new in this video, let me know down in the comments below what you learned, and yeah, I would love to know what you guys thought. Drop a like if you want to see more, share around with your friends in case they want to know how to play Vader as well, or any other Battlefront tips and tricks. I also make all kinds of other content on this channel, like music and other gaming content and films, so if you guys are interested in any of that, make sure to drop a sub and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of this awesome content, and I will see you guys in the next video.
Not bad he is, but not good either.
But not good either. This Yoda's trash. Oh my god, that was insane.
I killed him. Pooped on, pooped on. Yoda got pooped on, pooped on. Yoda got pooped on, pooped on.